up, everyone? Welcome back to Baby Kings for more basketball talk. And today we're talking the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, and a guy by the name of Robert Horry, who you've probably heard of. Very good player, should I say? Maybe a decent player, solid player, coming off the bench for the most part. Sometimes he would start with the Rockets early in his career. It looked like he was going to be really good in the mid-90s. And he went on to play for the Lakers, Spurs, and was a key contributor in the postseason for most of these teams that he played for, and he ended up winning 7 freaking rings. Not 1, not 2. Okay, we're going full LeBron right here.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
And he is saying, implying anyway, that he belongs in the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do y'all think about that? This is an interesting case for Robert Horry. He is known as one of the best role players in NBA history, having won 7 championships with the Rockets, Lakers, Spurs in his 16-year career. Wasn't a star by any means, but was a key contributor for his teams and made a number of clutch shots. And that's what he was known for. In the playoffs, as far as role players coming off the bench, I don't think there was anybody better at making clutch shots, and got him the nickname Big Shot Bob. I've also heard Big Shot Rob, but he made that big shot in game 1 in 95 for the Rockets, a game winner. And of course, how can Kings fans forget the 2002 buzzer beater with the Lakers, devastating shot. And he went on, he had a couple of game winners in 2003 for the Lakers. He had a couple of game winners for the Spurs towards the end of his career. This dude was just insane in the playoffs. Insane. Clutch, clutch, clutch. It helped his teams to win 7 freaking rings. And Horry said, you think about so many guys that can score and do these things, but they know what they need to do in order to make a team better. And I think that one of the things people forget, or those that don't know basketball, is it is called the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. And if you look at my basketball career, it speaks for itself. Now, in the postseason, dude was amazing. Now, I don't love the argument when people just say he's got 7 rings. That's kind of dumb if you think about it. It's a team sport. You could be the 15th man on the bench and just get lucky and be on the right teams and end up winning 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rings. It could happen, right? So just the fact that you're a player and your team has won championships in and of itself doesn't mean a whole lot. And that's the same that when people argue between Jordan or LeBron, who's better. Now, I would take Jordan, but not necessarily because he has more rings.
Nobody will ever beat Jordan, okay?
Okay, LeBron's a better rebounder and passer.
Call me when LeBron has 6 championships.
Is that your only argument?
It's the only argument I need, Sean!
I mean, it's something, yeah. I mean, it's good to have championship, to be on championship teams, especially if you contributed. I would say Jordan contributed. I would say so. And I would definitely say that Horry contributed for sure. But you still got to have help around you. Even Jordan, even LeBron need a little bit of help around them. They're not like doing it single-handedly. Although, sure, without them, those teams probably don't win championships. I get that because they were the leaders. And Horry probably wouldn't have been considered the leader. He played with guys like Kobe, Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon. The Spurs had Duncan and so many other great players. And so Robert Horry was a great player coming off the bench, and he would hit huge shots in the postseason. That's what he's known for. Is it enough to get into the Hall of Fame? I think you still got to look at his regular season numbers and accomplishments. And the fact of the matter is, he didn't make a single All-Star team. And I know he was coming off the bench. He was a 6th man for most of his career, but if he was that great, some team would have tried him out. I mean, he did start some games here and there, and he started some games with the Rockets early in his career, but he would have been converted back to a starter at some point. There are some great 6th men in the NBA who go on to become starters. James Harden is a big example. He started his career as a 6th man, coming off the bench, because you would have Durant and Westbrook in the starting rotation for the Thunder, and then he would come in when those guys get a little tired, and he was awesome at it, but he never made an All-Star team until he went off to Houston, became a starter, and became a huge star, and he made a whole bunch of All-Star teams, and he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. But it goes to show that role is not conducive to being an All-Star. So just the fact that he didn't make an All-Star team, I wouldn't eliminate the Hall of Fame for him, but that's tough. That's tough when you played 14, 15, 16 years in the league and you didn't make a single all-star team. Horry was never an all-star, didn't lead any of his teams in scoring or anything. He lacks individual accolades as a Hall of Fame player. The 7 championships certainly speak for themselves. Again, 7 championships because he helped them. I think you have to note that. Not only was it 7 championships, I don't really care that he's got 7 rings. I care that he's got 7 rings that he contributed to. Now, would those teams have won without him? I'm sure some of them, maybe most of them would have ended up winning. But I bet you at least a couple of those teams wouldn't have won without some of those shots. And also, he did have some moments, like I said. And in fact, I believe he was the first player to have 100 blocks, 100 steals, and hit 100 3-pointers in the same season back in 95-96, which is just an insane accomplishment. And you can see there's nothing bold here. That he never led the league in any categories. Here's the 95-96 season, 116 steals, 109 blocks, and he hit 142 3-pointers. I mean, that's a great season, despite the fact he didn't lead the league in anything. He probably could have been an all-star that year. But I think at the end of the day, when you look at his regular season numbers, he averaged double-digit points just 3 times, and he maxed out at just 12 points per game in 95. He averaged 7 points per game, 7 in his career. That's tough. Yes, there were times he could rise to the occasion, and his best game, I believe, was a 40-point performance against the Bucks, and that was with Olajuwon on the floor. But overall, I mean, average at best stats, 3-pointers. He's a good 3-point shooter. Averaged 341. That's a little, maybe about average at that time. I'm not sure, but maybe a little below average. He would have some good seasons here and there with his 3-point shooting. Obviously, he was great in the clutch. We've been through that. But averaged less than 5 rebounds per game and about 2 assists per game. I don't think these numbers in the regular season, I just don't think it's quite there to put a guy in the Hall of Fame. Got to consider a little bit maybe his college career. If we're going to say it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not just NBA Hall of Fame, he did have a great college career at Alabama. As you can see, played from 88 to 92, started 108 of the 133 games, and helped the Tide win 3 SEC tournament titles, twice reached the NCAA's Sweet 16. Alabama compiled a 98-36 record during his 4th season, but he set a school record for career blocked shots. And obviously, he was good enough to get drafted 1st overall, 11th pick by the Houston Rockets. So, at the end of the day, this is a really, really tough one. It's not surprising that Shaq and some of his teammates think he should be in. I don't give that a whole lot. They're very biased. They were his teammates. They're his friends. He never even won the 6th Man of the Year award and only once finished in the top 10 right here in 2001, 2002. Ricky Davis, all these guys finished ahead of him. Corliss Williamson won the award. Is there enough in this regular season to get this guy in the Hall of Fame? That postseason was insane. His clutch performance and all those shots and what he did to help those teams win those 7 rings is extraordinarily impressive. But I don't even think he wasn't even that great of a 6th man in the regular season. He was good. He was fine. He helped his teams. He was a solid player. That's how he played for so many years. But I just don't think these numbers have enough meat on the bone. I just don't think there's enough meat on the bone here in the regular season. Unfortunately, despite everything I've said here, I think I would probably not be able to vote for Robert Horry, but it's very, very close. I wouldn't be mad at anybody who decides to. In fact, I almost said yes. But when I think about that, he couldn't even win 6th Man of the Year awards, and those awards have been given out since the 80s, so they definitely were around his whole career, and he didn't even get a lot of votes for 6th Man of the Year. And if he wasn't 6th man, if he was starting, he couldn't make an all-star team, and the numbers are just not there. The numbers are just not there. But you know what? Robert Horry will always be remembered as a clutch player, as one of the great postseason clutch performers. There's a lot of these in other sports and in the NBA, and those kind of players don't usually get in the Hall of Fame. Big moments are fine, and you can put them on your resume, but you gotta have a career. You know, even Roger Maris can't get in the Hall of Fame, and he won 2 MVPs, and he broke Babe Ruth's single-season home run record over in baseball. He can't get in. He wasn't even close because he didn't have enough career numbers. They just weren't big enough. Tim Lincecum can't get in over there. And he won 2 Cy Young awards, but just didn't have enough meat on the bone with the regular season stats. And you have players from other football. Julian Edelman, known as one of the great postseason, right? So many big moments, but it just didn't have that. But all these people I'm mentioning had better regular seasons than Horry. And as far as basketball goes, I mean, you got Derek Fisher, great postseason player, more postseason appearances maybe than any player ever, but just doesn't have just not enough there. And in this case, it's not even close. And no Sixth Man of the Year awards. A couple of Sixth Man of the Year awards, I might say, for his role as a sixth man, he should get in. Just like in baseball, how relievers can get in if they're elite enough, even though they don't pitch that much, they don't compile the strikeouts, they don't compile the innings, but they're so good in their role that they get in. And if he was that good as a sixth man in the regular season, I would say yes. A couple of Sixth Man of the Year awards, I'd probably say yes, puts him over the top. I just don't see enough here, despite his great postseason career. But let me know what you guys think in that comment section down below. Thank you for checking out this video. And we'll always remember Robert Horry as a great postseason player. Hit big shots for the Lakers, for the Spurs, for the Rockets. He was just incredible, but not quite Hall of Fame worthy, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you in the next one.